First course first.
First course verse.
Let's go to the second course. This was a fan suggestion. Thanks for it. We really liked it, and that's why we turned the camera on to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Terminator versus Winter Soldier. And I win, right?
Hell yes.
Game video over. We'll see you in another one.
You know, it's another one of those situations where I think it would probably take a team of like Terminators, T-800 models.
A team to take out a man?
Well, he's not a man. You're dealing with basically Captain America with a bionic arm.
Yeah, but didn't we just have this argument? Like we said that Rambo was more of a man, which is like it didn't matter.
Well, yeah, but he's just a man. At this point, you gotta.
He's a Green Beret.
Well, no, but he is a Green Beret.
That's another video. But I don't see a team of winner or team of T-800s, T models. Look, this is a very interesting versus, and like I said, when this was suggested and I brought it to you, we immediately, our eyes popped up because this is an interesting matchup. Very interesting. Because you have a Terminator in the form of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
You have a very strong machine that knows what his mission is going to do it. And if his mission is to take out the Winter Soldier, or if you even want to reverse the roles, when Winter Soldier was programmed by the Russians to take people out, and Terminator's mission is to protect this the Winter Soldier from taking out this person. It's a very interesting concept because, again, the Winter Soldier yes, he's an enhanced soldier that's got a machine arm.
Yeah, and you're dealing with a cybernetic humanoid in the form of a T-800. Takes on the appearance of Arnold Schwarzenegger, obviously. Let's say. In the form of Arnold Schwarzenegger. So I don't think. Okay. So what scenario are we going to put him in? Are we going to put him in, like, let's say, a abandoned warehouse, or?
I like this both scenarios. Either the Terminator's the bad guy and he's been programmed to take out the Winter Soldier, or we can flip it. Like I said, the Winter Soldier has been programmed to take out a John Connor type figure, and they've sent the Terminator back to protect this person from the Winter Soldier.
Okay.
So whatever way you see it.
So what do you think the finer points of the T-800 are here? Do you think?
Well, he's a machine that's going to do everything. It is either to protect the Winter Soldier from taking this person out, or if his mission is to take him out, he's going to do whatever it takes to take him out. And like I said, he knows the human anatomy. He knows weapons. He's going to figure out pretty quickly that arm mechanical, and if there's a way to either disable it or take it off, because Iron Man did actually take that arm off. If he figures that out fairly quickly, obviously the scales tip dramatically to me in Terminator sense, because if you're a one-arm man, you're going to be in deep trouble.
Well, then here's the thing about it, and I could see if for some reason, and I'm arguing in favor of your character now.
Bullshit!
If for some reason the Terminator was enhanced to the point where I think it comes down to speed.
I know his speed can be a problem, but
he can be upgraded to where he can move a little faster.
I just think that if the Terminator got his hands on him, it's not going to be good. Now, again, I really see this as a really even matchup. This is not like we've said in another video, this is no contest, it's a squash. It's definitely not that. However way you want to spin it, I think for Winter Soldier, and I'm arguing for your character, I think it would be better if the Terminator was after him. If the Winter Soldier had to go through the Terminator to complete his mission, I don't think it would go that well for him. The other way around, I think it helps the Winter Soldier.
And I'm trying to remember now, and just as an aside here, take it to the Age of Ultron. Was the Winter Soldier, was he around at that point? Was he fighting the Ultron models with everybody, or he wasn't involved in that?
I don't think he was involved at that point.
Okay. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you could almost liken, let's just say, the T-800 model to one of the Ultron clones, right? Yeah. To some degree. And and I'm not trying to be dismissive here, but those clones of or multiple androids or whatever of Ultron, the copies of him were fairly easily disposed of. I mean, not easily necessarily for some of the weaker Avengers.
Okay, but wait a minute. You're talking about the little copies of the Ultron that doesn't compare to Ultron himself. Even
Good
Cap
point.
struggled against the main Ultron. He
Good.
held his ground, but he still had trouble.
And the reason I'm saying that is because if you were to compare the Terminator to a copy Ultron, if you want to say he's more advanced than that, I do think he would give the Winter Soldier some fight, but I have to admit I just see it not being. I just don't see it being. I see it a lot more one-sided maybe than you do.
You lie!
See, that's where you're wrong. I don't see it one-sided in any way. Like I said, depending on the scenario, I think would benefit the other one. If one of them has to go through the other one, or if it's the Terminator's mission to take out the Winter Soldier, it's a little harder for the Terminator because there's no surprise. He's coming at you. There's no hiding. There's no nothing. Look, I'm coming for you. You better be ready. Same thing with the Winter Soldier. Now, there may be a little more strategic event with the Winter Soldier because he is a soldier and he may not come at you head on. But having to go through the Terminator to get to your target, that's going to be a tough for him. Same thing if it was reversed. Having Terminator's mission is to take out the Winter Soldier, it's going to be a little bit tougher.
The only edge I could give to the Terminator would be right out of the gate. He would have to get the jump on Bucky. He would have to get the jump on him to the point where it would almost be not incapacitated, but he would have had to done some major trauma to him.
See, that doesn't make sense because Terminator's going to have an arsenal of weapons. And we're talking about the Winter Soldier, who is a man, besides the bionic arm. So you're talking about getting the jump on him. If it's a gunfight, it's not going to go well for the Winter Soldier.
It's just the speed that I'm looking at, and I think if the Terminator, if there was like an upgrade available or something, he could move a little faster, that'd be fine. But I think as it stands, I think the edge is completely to the Winter Soldier.
Even Kyle Reese couldn't take out the Terminator, and we're talking about just because he's got a mechanical arm and is a little bit faster than the Terminator.
Well, but Kyle Reese was not a augmented human. He was not. He didn't have the super soldier.
But he still was a soldier.
He was a soldier. Yes, he was.
So you're giving just because he's got a little bit of augmentism and a mechanical arm that trumps everything the Terminator had. We're still talking about a killing machine that the Terminator has got an arsenal of files in his brain that he can take him out in so many different ways. And again, his eyes will scan like that arm is not flesh and blood. That arm is metal. Got to do something about that arm.
Well, it's like I said, and that's fine. That's why I'd have to give the edge to the Terminator if
there's no upgrade. We know what the Terminator is.
If in the first 10 minutes of the fight, he was able to do some kind of major damage, then I'd say, yeah. I mean,
well, that could have very happened.
Like
I'm actually giving your guy credit. You're just saying it's a squash just from beginning to end and just discrediting everything the Terminator is.
Well, I don't mean that. I mean, it's just the way I see it. Unless there's a handicap in favor of
handicap, it's handicapped enough. You got a human going against a machine.
It's not enough, man. It's not enough.
I bet if you ask Google, it'll tell you. We should ask that. We're going to ask that. But we all know Terminator for the win.